I love coming here because of the people. They're so friendly, and their hospitality is just wonderful. Yeah, it's like home. The main reason I'm coming here is to honor my friend, my best friend, who was killed here. I remember the day that he was killed, but I didn't know that Hoevelaken had this memorial built, and they honor him each year on the day that he was killed. I was born in the United States, Walla Walla, Washington. It's an Indian name for the town. It means place of many waters. There's a Columbia River that goes by, and it rains a lot there.
Vanwege de economische crisis die in 1929 uitbrak, vertrok het gezin Froland naar Canada, waar de mogelijkheden een bestaan op te bouwen iets groter leken. Ze vestigden zich in het dorpje Coronation, in de provincie Alberta, waar ook zijn leeftijdsgenoot Hunter opgroeide, die later in Italië in het bijzijn van Ken Froland zou sneuvelen. Ken, hier in het midden op de foto, was de middelste van 5 kinderen, 3 broers en 2 zussen.
The children went to Sunday school, and then the adults went into the church. We joined the last part of the service to be with our parents. You met a lot of friends there, and they had church picnics and ball games, and it was fun. They had get-togethers that where they brought, they played games against other churches, and you got to know other people that way. And but it was every Sunday we went religiously. We drove in a buggy, or a little wagon, wagon, with horses pulling it.
Sounds very romantic.
Well, it was the only mode of transportation before the Model T came out, I guess, and changed that. We couldn't afford a Model T, but so we were still with our horses.
Summer and winter.
And winter, right. We needed the horses to haul hay and wood and whatever else we did.
Yeah.
That was our power.
Yeah.
We didn't have power or machinery or anything. All our work was done by hand. We went to school. We walked to school about 3 or 4 miles. A country school is, in those days, was in one room. And all grades 1 to grade 8 were in the same room.
And one teacher.
And one teacher. She was required to, at 1 minute, take care of a problem with the first grade kids, and then go to the next moment to help out someone in the 8th grade or the 7th grade.
Op hun 14e verlieten Ken en zijn broer de school om op de boerderij te werken. Ondanks hun inspanningen bleef het moeilijk een toekomst te zien op het platteland van Canada. Toen de oorlog uitbrak, besloten zij zich dan ook aan te melden bij het leger. Ken werkte zich op tot sergeant en was verantwoordelijk voor de training van de soldaten die naar het front gestuurd zouden worden.
Well, when we trained these soldiers, they got well trained there. But the minute they were trained, they went to overseas. Well, this keeps happening at the end of every training period. And finally you say to yourself, I'd like to go overseas too. And my brother-in-law, Milton was his name, he was the same as I was. He was a sergeant. We said, when do we go? They said they don't need sergeants. They need reinforcements. The war is going badly. They're in Italy. They'd been to Dieppe and other junctions. And they said, we need reinforcements, so we need you here to train these people. So we peeled off our sergeant's stripes and said, now we're privates. And privates go to overseas. And that's what happened. They said, all right, get out of here. So that's how we got overseas. We were shipped down to Nova Scotia in a kind of a holding unit there for a week, I guess it was, until a ship was available in Halifax. And we shipped out to Scotland.
To Scotland.
Greenock, Scotland, you know.
How many of you were on a boat?
Oh, hundreds. I don't know, it's full.
Yeah.
You sleep in hammocks.
Was it a normal ocean liner, or?
It was the New Amsterdam. It's a Dutch boat. So I just got a regular rifleman job with the regiment. I went in action with them right away. And it's an eye-opener going into action, really, because you see bodies that are laying there, and you know, this is for real. It's not movies or anything. So it's a serious business we're in now. That first night, I remember I was near the end of the line. We followed a road, and they started throwing shells in on us, and we all hit the ditch, and the rest of the guys started off, and the one that's at the front, a couple ahead of me, should have told us, okay, they've moved, let's go. Finally, the corporal at the back end, he said, what's going on? Are we still sitting here? No, they left. Oh, well, you're supposed to follow, you know. So we had that confusion, and we came around the corner of a barn, and there was a noise in the barn, and the corporal behind me fired a couple of shots in there. And it was a donkey that was in there making a noise, stirring around. So he didn't get hit, so he was all right.
Okay.
Remini Ridge is where I got wounded. I was wounded, this fellow I told you about from Coronation, who was killed.
Yes.
And I had my foot broken and shrapnel in my leg.
Was this a mortar attack as well?
And it was a shell. They were shelling the crossroad.
Right. And the same shell that killed
killed this boy from, his name was Hunter. Hunter was killed, and
you were
I got part of it, you know,
Yeah.
the base of the shell or whatever was big enough to break your foot.
Right.
And so I was sent to the hospital that night on a Bren gun carrier, and they take you down till they meet a regular ambulance, and then the ambulance takes you to the hospital. I get a wound stripe. It's a gold cord on your left arm,
Right.
showing you've been wounded. Some guys got 2, and some just 3. But I can't find the gold cord anymore, so I got a metal one. But it signifies you've been wounded.
All right.
In Italy, I switched over to the signals, because they have your record, and they know that I had taken signal training. The flags and the dots and the dashes and then eventually the motorcycle. And so they gave me a radio in Italy, and I carried this radio into action. You're with the front units. You're with the commanding officer of the attack group, and he is reporting to the rear.
Right.
How it's going.
Yeah.
And so you're with him all the time, and you got a radio speaker and headphones, sometimes you take it off and give to him to use. And but it's bad when you are being shelled because you can't hear much with the headphone until you see everybody diving for the ditch.
Yeah.
Then you go too.
Yes.
That's where I met Walter Strang. We both got into the signal part of it, and we were good friends from the time we first met.
When did you meet him for the first time, and where?
I don't remember the location, but it was quite early after I got over there because we spent a lot of time together. We got along real well. Walter was a quiet sort of a guy. He didn't get involved with anything much, you know. He didn't play poker and like us guys did. He didn't go drinking and chasing girls and stuff. And I was raised on a farm, but I'm too shy. I'm too timid. I don't want to go up to a girl and talk to her because I don't know her. But so Walter and I kind of hit it off. He was married. He wrote a letter almost daily to his wife, and so it worked out real well. He was older than me.
By how much?
He was 36 and I was 21 when we got up here, and he was kind of you know. I would ask him, what are we going to do? What should we do? And I go to him for instructions, you know, because he was older and should know better, and probably kept me out of a lot of trouble, you know.
Na de zware gevechten in Italië werden Ken en zijn regiment, het Loyal Edmonton Regiment, ingescheept in Genua om de oversteek naar Marseille te maken. Via het inmiddels bevrijde Frankrijk en België en via Kleef in Duitsland trokken de Canadezen Nederland binnen. Na de bevrijding van Zutphen staken ze de IJssel over en konden ze in Barneveld weer enigszins tot rust komen.
The regiment got a message that there was a group of German army that was going to surrender up in Hoevelaken. And so Colonel Stone got a company of men and a couple of track vehicles with guns on them, and was going to go up there and receive these people wanting to surrender. And the sergeant came to the house that we were in. It is a porch on a farmhouse, or it seemed like a farmhouse, in Barneveld. And he said, I need a radio man to go with us up there, you know, to report what's going on. And Walter was there. I was there. And there wasn't no jobs. We had a switchboard set up. We had wire telephones set up so that we could talk to the companies. And I don't know what I was doing, or he either, but he said, I'll go. And he got killed that day. You know, I think you're going to go up there and there'd be nothing to it. A bunch of Germans want to surrender. What's the deal? You just report back that we're up here and the quantity of men that are surrendering. You probably report that back. But there was a roadblock, a bunch of poles and stones and stuff, and they got the Pioneer platoon to remove that, and they went through. But they had another roadblock, and that was It's too big to dismantle. And the Germans started throwing mortars in on it. So right away we realized this is not a surrender.
Exactly.
This is an ambush.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we'd seen some surrenders already. And when you get word there's a group wanted to, and there were quite a few of them, the figure was high that wanted to surrender.
Mm-hmm.
And then to have it go bad like that is a shock.
For sure.
Yeah.
When did you hear what had happened?
When they came back, I heard that afternoon. Yeah.
So Walter was the only casualty?
He was, there were 4 other casualties, 4 others wounded.
Uh-huh.
One was an officer, I forget his name now. But Walter was the only one killed. Yeah. And we didn't have any details of his injuries or anything like that. He just said that he's still out there.
That's what they said.
Yeah.
And that, when they said that, you knew what it
Yeah.
meant?
Yeah, I never really got over his death. It hit me pretty hard because we knew each other so well, and you form a bond. I think more so in the Army than you do it as a family. You're closer to your friend. Here it's 70 years ago, and I can still feel it. But he's
Do you think that perhaps because of what he's done here in Holland has almost naturally become part of this country?
Oh yes. He's buried in the land he helped to save, and I think he should be with the country that is now honoring him and giving him a place to rest.
You yourself have told us many times that you feel very much at home here, and that had life gone slightly differently, you might well have ended up living in the Netherlands.
Yes, I like the Netherlands. I've been here so many times now, and it's just a nice, clean place to live, and the people are so wonderful here.
It's a strange way to come to like a place, war.
It is, yeah. But you see people at their worst, under the worst hardships that can happen to anybody. And you see the character of the individual. They are a strong race of people.
Now, when you are back home in the States, in Los Angeles, it's sometimes difficult to get people to understand what you've experienced here. Why is that, do you think?
Well, here the foundation, of course, is teaching the children in Hoevelaken, the 6th grade children, the horrors of war and also the hardships their grandparents went through during the 5 years of occupation. Where in Canada and the United States, the war has been forgotten a long time ago. It didn't happen to them, so it's like way off in the distance someplace. Once I get down there that far, I think I'm pretty good. Here it's on the minds of everybody. You know, when the schools are teaching that in the school, these people came over here and liberated us. All those kids know that. And the 6th graders, of course, is when they really comprehend the fact that this happened and how it happened and everything.
Is u zelf ook gewond geweest?
Yes, I was wounded in Italy.
Is that important to you personally?
Yes. Yes, it is important. I'd like to see his name live forever in the minds of the people that live here. He's a hero. He's done a good job.
Was Walter Strang your best friend and did you fight together against the Nazis?
Yes.
If one of these children were to ask you, Ken, when I'm 50, how would you want me to remember the Second World War?
I think by the time he's 50, his thoughts have gone out to a lot of other people too. And it's just one telling the other. And a visit to a cemetery like this will change a lot of people's mind. Stay dedicated to Walter Strang. Honor his service to the country. Keep his name alive for the generations to come. And now, I thank you, all of you. Thank you. In my speech, I've mentioned that peace is a word that only the people that have been to war can really understand.